Welcome to my favorite spot in Lagos. Okay, so like I told you, this is a new property that is just being launched here in just in front of Eco Atlantic, right? So if you look these other places, like I told you, one unique thing was growing up, I used to come from school to VI, and I remember this whole place was Bar Beach, right? It was Bar Beach, and everybody talked about how water used to flood the entire place. It's funny how the entire place is now called Eco Atlantic, and everywhere is developing every day. They are building more skyscrapers, 20-story, 50-story in this entire community. And today I want to share moving from millions to billions when it comes to land banking. And the lesson here is people used to disdain this location. I used to feel that, it's close to water. They are afraid. And those who did that, who lost properties here, are probably regretting today, right? They are regretting big time. They are wishing they didn't make that mistake and that they had bought those properties, okay? And but they've missed out. They really missed out, okay? So we're going to be looking at the topic: how do you move from millions to billions when it comes to land banking? I'd like you to share this video, share across all social media platforms, tag your friends, and of course, as you join, tell me your name and the city you are joining me from. Now, today's class will also be very practical. So I'm going to be showing you people who have done this, so that you're able to see that this is real and live, and it's something you can do. Now, when you want to go into land banking, one of the rules is that you look for a major city, and then you begin to look for the outskirts of that city. And because as population grow, many people will not be able to afford that city, which is what's happening with Lagos. And so a lot of more people will need to buy the outskirts. They will need to buy the surroundings. And as they are buying the surroundings, if you are able to buy property around those fringes or places that are, not yet developed in that part of the city, that's how you begin to build wealth, okay? That's how you build real wealth. So the first person we're going to be analyzing today is a man by the name Pastor Paul Adefarasi. I'm going to be sharing a short video of him sharing his own story in land banking. His personal story wasn't somebody said on his behalf. It was him talking how he bought land in Lagos. Then in Lekki Phase 1, it was still thick forest. It was still bush. He bought it for as low as 25 million, almost 10 acres. And he left it for 10 years because that's the concept of land banking. You buy land when it's low, okay, and you leave it for a while and the whole thing appreciates. And 10 years later, the land he bought for 25 million had grown to 10 billion naira. Remember, today's topic is moving from millions to billions in land banking. What is land banking? It's basically buying land for the purpose of appreciation gain, right? For the purpose of, many people buy land just for the purpose of, I want to build a house. But one of the core and most profitable reasons or ways to buy land is to buy for the purpose of investment, where you're not buying because you want to live in it. You're buying it for future appreciation. You're buying it today for a lesser price, just so that in future you're able to sell it at a higher price. A lot of you are enjoying this. If you're enjoying this type, I am enjoying this. Talk to me, guys. I'd like you to share this video across all your social media platforms. Share. Hit the share button on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn. So people miss out a whole lot when it comes to land investment because they are always and only thinking of the land I can buy now and build now. So I've heard several people say they miss out so much because they were just thinking, I need now. It's called lack of delay gratification. I remember meeting a man, he's 87 years now, this year. The man said to me, they gave him Surulere 40-something years ago. And he said to them, God forbid, Emi, Surulere, 40-something years ago. They gave him 6 plots in Surulere. And he said, no, it was too bushy. It was a bush, he's not interested. And he said it's one of the biggest regrets of his life today. Right? Because then he was just wanting a developed place, right? And I met people like that who used to tell me they left Ikeja too. They were not interested in Ikeja, particularly when you look at Okpebi, Allen, because it was bush. That's why they situated the airport in Lagos in Ikeja. They were all bush, right? Some of those people regret today. Civil servants used to tell, Jack Conde then, who will go and live with you? When Jack Conde started building estates in Ikeja, that who will go and live in that bush? Who will go and live in that bush? God forbid. Today, they are full of regrets because they never saw into the future. Remember, Bill Gates said this, and this powerful. He said, one of the best ways to predict the future is to create it. Can everybody help me type that? One of the best ways to predict the future is to create it. Everybody, come on, type that. And once again, type it. One of the ways to predict the future is to what? Create it. So you want to go way back and look at properties and say, where is this thing moving? Can I buy this location, leave it for a few years and see it appreciate? I'd like you to enjoy this short video. This is a man's personal life, okay? And listen.
10 acres of property on the Lekki Peninsula for our worship site. We built one building, we're going to build 3 other buildings there. Today, without the brick and mortar on it, that land by the valuers is valued at 3 billion naira. You should thank God I'm your pastor. In other words, we've created an asset base with 10-year differential of 3 billion naira with just 25 million naira. When you put the building on it and it's finished and furnished, they tell me that the value will at least be 10 billion naira. Today, what about 50 years from now? And then you tell us that we will not be a major player in the economy. In fact, the fact that we are there has raised the value of all the other properties in the area. Because we are a market of 50,000 people attending service in a 24-hour period between Saturday night and Sunday evening. So the value of everything there is going to go up. LCC came and said to us, you are the major destination on the Lekki Expressway. I said, we? Look at something, you have no idea who you are.
How many of you got value from that? If you got value from that, can you type, I got value, I got value, I got value? Come on, everybody, talk to me. If you got value from that, can you type, I got value? So I will explain that again, in case you didn't hear very well. That was Pastor Paul Adefarasin buying for the church land in Lekki then, after Lekki Phase 1, years ago. He bought it for 25 million, about 10 acre, right? And he left it for 10 years, and the value was 3 billion. And they said by the time they were done building houses on it, it's going to be worth 10 billion. And that's the reality of that property today. Of course, today, where they build house on the rock is even more than 10 billion now, the value of that property today. And this is how to do investment, ladies and gentlemen. This is how to build wealth. This is how to create wealth for your children's children. This is how to make sure the generation after you can smile and pray for you and be happy that you made the right move, that you did the right thing. And I've said this again and again to many of you who listen to me. If you keep looking at issues from the short view, right? I want a house today. I want it already developed. First of all, the first challenge you face is that you may not even be able to afford that property. And I see a lot of you do that, particularly those of you in diaspora. People will tell me they want to buy a land they can live in, build today for 3 million. It's not possible, right? It's not possible. It's just the truth. Properties are quite much more expensive now. So, particularly in Lagos, So there's no way you can, with 3 million naira, you can buy a place in Lagos that you can immediately start building, that people are already living in. And people has fall into a whole lot of people who have swindled them because they are not even aware of what I'm teaching you today. They don't even know. So they leave opportunity hanging because they just want, I want it now, I want the land that has developed now. And many of those things are not possible. Property are very, very expensive today. But if you can just be a bit patient, right? Look for, and by the way, you need a mentor if you want to do this. This is not something you do and you say you can do it on your own. No. You need mentors, you need people who know the market, you need people who know how that environment works, who will then give you guidance and counsel.
But let me tell you something.
So that's how this thing works. So it's not like you just wake up one day and say you want to do land banking. There's no mentorship. There's nobody guiding you. You will lose money. You will lose a whole lot of money. So if you're going to do land banking, turning millions to billions, you need mentorship. Even Pastor Paul Adefrazi, I told you about, was able to do this because that was what his father did. His father bought Akin Adesola for $2,000 then, £2,000. Nigeria was spending pounds then, right? And by the time they sold that property, it was worth over $5 million. So he has seen his own father do it. And it was possible for him to learn the same process. And the process was that when his father bought Akin Adesola in Victoria Island, VI was a marshy land. So people were not buying Victoria Island because it was marshy. There was water everywhere. It was close to the sea and people were avoiding that place. But his father bought it and then it turned to gold. So he too learned that this is the principle he also needed to use, right, to build his own, and he's done so much for himself. Again, if you are getting value, can you type, I'm getting value? I'm getting value. I'm getting value. Come on, guys, talk to me. If you are learning and you're getting value, type, I'm getting value. I'm getting value. I'm getting value. Remember to share this video on Facebook, on LinkedIn, across social media platforms. Share. Hit the share button. Paste it across. Let people come and learn. You don't know whose life you'll be changing. The second person, I'm going to be playing his video with you, and we will be sharing his own story too, as relates to land banking. How he moved from millions to billions. Is the CEO and chairman of Airpeace. The CEO and chairman of Airpeace. His name is Allen Onyema. He shared how land banking was the secret of his wealth, how he was able to start his airline from some of the money he made selling land in Abule Egba, as well as selling land in Ibejuleki. As a lawyer, people started giving him land to sell, and as he was selling, he was making money. And even when he saw the prospect of Ibejuleki, early he keyed in and he built wealth for himself. So I'm going to play that video of Allen Onyema too.
Youthful exuberance, but I was working very hard. What happened was that I didn't have time to start looking for houses. In those days, Keja was the in thing, and I never liked houses with 3-bedroom flat, 1 toilet. So to get anything that is on suite, those and company, the real estate company. So I bought about 87 of those plots myself. At the time, I increased my price to 20,000, 30,000. So money was everywhere. Of course, I had my own share of stupidity as a young person. I was living in Airport Hotel for 2 years. Yes. I had and that was wrong.
I like that confession.
Yeah.
That my own share of my own.
I did a trade exhibition at the Federal Palace, brought all these traders who would want to go into importation. They were paying me, going through me to import. And I was charging my commission, making legitimate money, bringing in Korean factories here. And they were exhibiting. The Koreans were paying me, Nigerians were paying me, millions rolled in. I'm talking about, I made my first millions at the age of 25. That was why I married very early too. I married at the age of 26.
You married at 26?
Yeah. My parents made sure I married at 26, but I was making too much money and many, understand.
I understand.
But I was a good boy. So from there, I went into import and trade business. That's Every Child Limited. I was importing electronics, wholesale electronics into the country. I was discharging as the running chartered operations. He was my consultant. Don't look down on anybody in your life, no matter what you are, no matter who you are. Never you ever, because God could use the next person to uplift you. When I was working in Ochodi, I had these garage boys. They were my friends. And one happened to belong to a family that had this large expanse of land in Alagbado. And he took me there to show me their property. I helped them to bring some buyers. A week later, after I got the employment, they sent for me, the entire family. They had about 400 plots of land. They said they were giving it to me to sell on behalf of the
400 plots of land.
Yes, in Alagbado. Apart from Nureni Yusuf, the former Air Vice Marshal, may she rest in peace, I don't think there was anybody who owned anything apart from families bigger than me by 1991 over there. So they gave me to sell. That's where you have AIT now and some other. They gave them to me to sell for 5,000 naira in 1990.
400 plots of land?
Yes, each one 5,000 naira. And what will be my own? I asked them. They said, anything you put on top is yours. We're not going to pay you commission. So I started selling. I sold the first 6 plots. The first thing I did was to go to National Concord, the Chief MKO Abiola's National Concord, one of the biggest newspapers in those days. I went there, I put my money there, run adverts, and it was selling like hotcake. So if I'd sold 10 plots, I'll be making 50,000. In those days, 20,000 can buy you a brand new car. So I was making millions. And somebody advised me, Alan, start buying those properties yourself too. You have enough money. So I now floated Alan Oyema and Company, the real estate company. So I bought about 87 of those plots myself. At the time, I increased my price to 20,000, 30,000. So money was everywhere. Of course, I had my own share of stupidity as a young person. I was living in Airport Hotel for 2 years. Yes. I had and that was wrong.
I like that confession.
Yeah.
That my own share. Oh Lord.
Don't you ever emulate that, because
So,
youthful exuberance.
how many of you have learned something? If you have learned something, can you type I've learned something? Come on, guys, talk to me. If you have learned something, type I've learned something. So again, what in the case of Alan Oyema, and he might, the video didn't end, but he could tell you quite a lot about that, how he was able to build massive wealth for himself. And one of the issues and strategies he used, of course, was still in the process of land banking, right? Abule Egba then, because Ikeja was exploding and people couldn't afford Ikeja again, and so Abule Egba became where people started coming to buy land. And families were giving him land and was helping them sell. But at some point, he made his biggest money by then buying the land from the family and reselling when the land had increased in value, right? And so if you don't know how people become very rich and successful, sometimes you look at them and you say, Kuku don't know what they're doing. Sometimes you even think they are doing something wrong, and they may not be doing something wrong. Sometimes it's you that need to look inwards and say, what model am I using? How am I living my life? What strategy do I have in place to build lasting wealth for myself, for my children's children? Create a system that will help me to build great wealth, so that in future I will not be looking back and be regretting and be asking myself, what did I do with the money? And let me tell you this, money will never be enough. Okay? Can everybody help me repeat that? Money will never be enough. Come on, everybody type it. Money will never be enough. So it's actually out of the not having enough that you have to struggle and find a way to still invest in land banking, to still buy property. So today I tell people, buy Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. They will say, no, it's too far. Sometimes I say, buy Aton. They say, no, it's too expensive. Okay, buy Ibejuleki. Well, it doesn't have good title, right? But listen to me. This whole thing, you just have to humble yourself. I was just sharing this on a radio station recently. I said, you do not build wealth. You cannot build wealth, right, without investing in land banking. But more importantly, you can't build wealth in real estate if you're not humble, right? You cannot. You cannot. Look at Daddy Gio. Bought, redeemed camp land for 6,000 naira. Okay, you will not believe it. So the first set of land, okay, true story, it was bought for 6,000 naira. I'm going to show you that article very soon. 6,000 naira. For you to buy property now, in same redeem camp, you need millions. You need millions, real millions. But IGO years ago took the risk, bought that property, and today, yes, the redeem camp, the first set of property that was bought in redeem camp, okay, was bought for 6,000 naira. 6,000 naira. Right, 6,000 naira. So, if you're not humble, ladies and gentlemen, to invest at the right time, humble yourself, buy it at the level you can buy, you will never build anything tangible. Let me play the video for you.
That's where we are going to have our camp. Finally, God showed me a piece of property here for the Africans. And I told my people, we're going there, that's where we're going to have our camp. We're going to have our convention there. And everybody was coming. They were coming, they were getting ready to come for the convention. But then the soil here is clay. Every time we dig a well, before tomorrow morning the well will have collapsed. 1 week to go to the convention. The people were already preparing to come from all over the country. And there is no water that they will drink. People can do without food, but they can't do without water. My dream was about to end even before it started. And all of a sudden, God sent a destiny helper. Somebody was driving past on the expressway and saw what was going on. And he branched. I said, what are you doing here? We said, we are building a camp. What kind of camp? We want to hold convention here. He wasn't a member of our church. He said, what do you need? I said, what? The only problem we have now is water. Well, the wells were collapsing. He said, what you need is a borehole. I said, I know that. Where is the money? He said, I will build you one. The one who will help you, God will send him to you now. I said, sir, thank you, sir, but there's only 1 week to the convention. He said, that's long time enough. We were talking on Sunday. Before the evening, he has sent his engineers. They began to dig round the clock. By the time my people
one of the reasons why I played that video was to also help you see that land banking isn't always that easy. Because why I played that video was when I told you that Redeem Camp set of land was bought for 6,000, you probably will have thought that, well, they bought it because the land was good. And you can hear him. The entire place was not good, right? So they didn't buy it because it looks perfect. But that was what they could afford. I always say to a lot of people that when it comes to property, if you do not buy what you can afford, you may never buy property in your life. Because it takes patience and humility to understand that you need to start the business or the game at the level of affordability. What can I afford now? What can I afford now? So it's never always easy to do land banking. Because sometimes you are dealing with a property that looks as if, this property will never make it all. This thing doesn't look like it all. You know, this land I'm buying may never work out. But it might be the step you need to take. Look at my phone, right? Do you see? That's Daily Post newspaper. We bought Redeem Camp land for 6,000 naira at Adeboye. This was a true story he shared himself. I think this video was part of where he shared it. 6,000 naira. 6,000 naira. So, if you don't know the story, you will be wondering how today Redeem Camp is big, how they have so many land. You may even be wondering how did they acquire it. They started buying the thing when it was nothing. Right? That was when they started buying it. They started buying it when it was nothing. They started buying it when, the whole entire place was a thick forest. When it didn't make any sense to buy it. When it was a deep risk you are taking. When you are not even sure whether this thing works or it make any sense, or you are risking your life, or you may end up not achieving anything out of it. But the risk was taken, the step was taken, and see what it has become today. It's a massive place. And behind Redeem Camp, for you to buy it, Shimawa, behind, it cost you millions today. As of 2012, when I started selling Shimawa for another company, I used to be a marketer, a broker for the company. We were selling Shimawa for 550,000 naira. And it was far after Redeem Camp. Right, far. But see today, that those places are worth millions today. But somebody had foresight, saw the better tomorrow, took the risk. Okay? And today is doing well. So, people say, how do I go about land banking? Who else asked that question? If you have that question, type, how do I go about? Come on, everybody, engage me. Who else has a question? By the way, if you are enjoying this video, type, I'm enjoying this. I'd like you to share this video across all your social media platforms. Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn. Share 10 times. Just keep sharing. Click on the Facebook party icon and invite as many people as you can. Tell them to come and hear wisdom as to how to secure tomorrow and how to invest in land banking. The first rule of land banking is to get a mentor. Don't go into land banking without having a mentor. And the only thing that qualifies somebody to mentor you in land banking is the fact that they themselves must have invested in what they are telling you to invest in. I've seen a lot of people make this mistake where they will end up going ahead to say that they have gotten a mentor and that mentor has never done it before. So when you pick somebody who has never achieved certain result and you say the person should mentor you, the person will lead you astray. And you should not be discouraged, you should not cry when you end up losing everything. So what qualify people to mentor you is that they themselves must have done that thing. So if somebody is telling you, I can teach you land banking, ask them, how many land have you bought that has appreciated? I can show you land I bought for 250,000. Today they are worth 4.5 million. Right? I can show you several investment I took or in the land banking sector that has appreciated. Right? I helped some of those who invested through me in Ibejuleki. They invested at 1.5 million. In less than 1 year, the property is now worth 9 million. Right? And me, myself, I took that risk also. I have properties like that. So you can turn things around. You can make progress like this. You just need to, first of all, have a mentor. You don't need to be in Nigeria. Somebody is asking, what if I'm not in Nigeria? You don't need to be in Nigeria. Many of my students are not in Nigeria, right, who have made massive progress. They are not in Nigeria. Most of my students I have mentored, that I told you, invested 1.5 and is worth 9 million in 1 year. 90% of them are not in Nigeria. So you don't need to be in Nigeria. That's why I say you need to have a mentor. So having a mentor like me, who have gotten results, and I've done it for myself, it then helps you to be able to know that anything I'm asking you to invest in, at least I've put in my own money too. Okay? At least I've put in my own money too. So it's not a matter of investment that one has not done. And that's where people miss it, because you're not telling somebody who has never done it to come and teach you. Number two, land banking is always looking at the outskirts of a major city. Okay? Outskirts of a major city. So for example, the major city of Lagos, the major place in Lagos is VI, Ikoyi and all that. Major city in Lagos is Ikeja. So what are the axes you can go? You know, Bega, can you go to Arepo, Lagos Ibadan Express Road? The other aspect you look at after Abule Egba, you have Aton Ota. Coming down this way, you then have Ibejuleki, Ekpe that you can leverage on. Now somebody is asking me that how can I go about protecting it? The fear of Omonile. That's also why you get a mentor, right? When you buy properties, you want to make sure you buy from real estate companies. Everybody will buy from GTEX Homes, for example, which is a company I'm the MD CEO of. Okay, everybody will buy from us are actually protected. Their land is always protected by our company. We fence it round. We make sure the land is protected. We make sure that even if it's 20 years later, you come back, you find your land. That is how we've helped several people build their property. And honestly, the lesson and the principle is what I'm teaching you now. When you buy land banking through real estate companies that are genuine, that are credible, that have integrity, you have protected yourself. Okay, because whatever happened, you know and you are sure that you will be protected. How many of you are getting value again? If you're getting value, tap, I'm getting value. I'm getting value. All my free mentorship ends on WhatsApp, right? If you chat me up, you want mentorship from me, it's not free. And it's important to say that, right? Because I also didn't learn some of these things for free. I paid for some of them, and some of them I served to learn them. I work under people, help them to market their own property, and in that process was how I learned it too. So I didn't learn what I know today for free. Okay, I didn't learn it for free. It cost me something to learn it. So you need to know that as a fact when it comes to this. You need to know that. Also, number two, if you're trying to reach me to help you when it comes to land banking, it should be that you are ready to invest in land banking. Because I've seen several people, and it's sometimes really a shame, and very, who do not value my time. They just reach out to me and begin to chat from morning till night. They are not ready. I'm a very busy man, And I've spent time and years to learn what I learn and to grow what I know. And time is more important. I tell people, how many of you know that time is more important than money? So when you meet people like me, you don't want to waste my time. You go straight stating your name and your budget and what you can afford to start the business with. But when you don't yet have a budget and you're not, oh, Mr. Steven, I want to do this, you're wasting my time. You're not ready, right? And it's very, very important. So you chat me up, you state how much is your budget. So Steven, I need your help. This is the amount I have, and I want to go into land banking. I have several properties, many of whom are our company. And so you have my guarantee that we're protecting those land for you. There's no any omonile that can take over your land. The good news with what I do with my clients is we send your document to you wherever you are in the world through DHL or UPS, right? We make sure that way because some people even say they're afraid of family members. The family members have duped them and stolen from them, which is true. In fact, let me tell you this. The reason many of you watching me don't have property in your name and you have not done land banking and you have lost money. Some of you are in diaspora for the last 20 years and you have not even bought one property for yourself. And do you know the reason why many of you have not done the family members? The day you want to buy property, they will be telling you that people want to dupe you. And before you know, they are begging you for money. They will end up collecting that money from you, claiming they were sick, they need to take care of somebody, and they will never use it for anything. At the end of the day, you will never be able to build something tangible for yourself. Many of you family members are the ones who sold fake land for you because of the commission they were going to get. Many of you even send family members to help you go and check a property you know is genuine. They told you it's not genuine and went to buy the wrong one for you and you lost all the money, right? Because of this family member. So we have created a system that even if you don't have family members, you can trust, right? The entire process is automated where you get your documents sent to you. So there's no third party. There's no family member coming in. And at the end of the day, in fact, I know a story a young man told me. We're talking about this land banking. And before I knew, the man said to me, Mr. Steven, this is how you people will be deceiving people to invest in property. I was duped $20,000 in land banking in Nigeria. So me, I like to hear such story. I even thought it was a company that duped him. So I told him, here's my number. Reach out to me. I want to know what happened. I will personally work with you to make sure whoever defrauded you of that kind of money will get it back. Only for me to send, for him to reach out to me and say, hey, actually, Mr. Steve, it wasn't like I was duped. I got the land. But my dad was the one that helped me to process it. And so he had all the documents with him. And whenever my dad asks me for money and I don't sell, he will go and sell one plot. Because it was 6 plots he bought. He said, before I knew it, that was how my father sold the entire 6 plots that I bought with $20,000. Right? Anytime my father was broke, he would just go and sell. So that's how I lost all the property I had. So, I've heard several stories like that. How many of you have heard stories like that? Or you have been a victim of something similar? Just type me. Come and talk to me. Right? So I've heard several stories in this. So we've created a system where whatever happened, if you don't want third party, you can do it on your own and build your own wealth for yourself. Okay? Again, you must be that you're ready to do land banking. I'm a very busy person, so I do not appreciate people just chatting me up. You don't have the funds yet, you are not ready yet, and then you just waste time. And at the end of the day, you just wasted my precious time. Okay, so please only chat me up, WhatsApp chat only, not call. Your name, the city you're joining me from, and your budget as it relates to land banking. I'll give you all the various options that our company has. If you're able to find another one that is not even our company or you need my advice, I'll be willing to give you advice on them. I'm on ground. We have more than 10 estates. In September alone, we're launching another 5 estates. I started this our company 12 years ago with just $1,010. and we've grown it to a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So God has been faithful, and we know how this industry works, and we'll be able to help mentor you and help you. We started our real estate company 5 years ago because I myself, I have 4 companies in the US, 2 in the UK, and 1 in Dubai. And I know how hard it is to work in diaspora, and I've seen too many people just lose money, right, to fraudulent people, and wanted to sanitize the system and create a process where people can get their property with dignity. And God has helped us. I mean, we're not perfect, but we have done our best. Our name is GTEX Homes. At GTEX Homes, you can Google us, check us out on social media. At GTEX Homes is the company I'm the MD CEO of. Okay? So there's a lot you can learn. So let me read. If you have questions, feel free. Please, when you chat me up, is your name, the city, and your budget. Don't just say hello, hi, goes to your name, okay? At least cost demands that. Victor says a friend of mine was killed by a second owner because the land was sold to 2 different people somewhere around Lakwe. You see, this is also why I always tell people don't buy land from Omonile, right? Because they sell land to, that was even better, 2 people. Some of them will sell land to 5 people. 5 people. And you always start fighting each other. And they are quite diabolical. And I agree with you, people have died over land matters. So it's always good when you do business with companies. The company will show you your land. They will send you a document. They will protect the land for you. The reason why people like us are able to do land business well is because we're a company. We're not an individual. Okay? We have top, people who are part of our board, from military to police to legal, who are able to help protect the asset of our clients, right? So we do not operate as an individual, we operate as a company, and it says help. But when you are just an individual buying land and you are buying from Omonile, they take advantage of you. They know you are an individual, okay? But we buy as a company in the name of the company. And they know we have, people behind the brand who are very powerful. So, they don't mess up with companies. Courage says, sorry, I just joined. Oh, Courage, you can watch it again. You're joining from Germany. Thank you for joining. You can watch again. We've had a fantastic conversation. We had a great time. Come on, guys. If you've had a great time today, can you type great time, great time, great time? Come on, everybody, talk to me. If you've had a great time, type great time, great time. Please share this video to add value to many, 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 many people. Many, many, many people. So share on Facebook, on WhatsApp. Click on the Facebook party icon. Particularly groups for Nigerians in diaspora. There's a lot to learn. Anita says, what about people like us that didn't go to school? I mean, I don't understand what property business has to do with going to school. Okay, Omonile didn't go to school. Most of the people with the largest number of properties have never gone to school. Owning a property has nothing to do with going to school or not going to school. I mean, what does going to school or not going to school have to do with property, really? Right? It has nothing to do with property. Okay, so those of you who came late, go watch it all over again. But please share the video with as many people as possible. You will save lives of so many people. And I promise you, you will save life of some. Because what I shared today, many don't know about it. And many people have suffered. Many have died because they didn't even know what I'm sharing today. So you will be saving lives if you can share this video, okay? Okay, good to know. Adeni had a great time. Eddie had a great time. Who else had a great time? Type great time, great time. Victor says, I've been following you and still putting my funds together before I contact you, boss. I've always had a great time. Good to know, Victor. Good to know. But let me also say this, Victor, you will never have enough money to start real estate, particularly when it comes to land banking. So start with what you have. That's why another beautiful opportunity with land banking is that you can pay gradually. 3 months installment, 6 months installment, 1 year installment. You are better off doing that, okay, than to just wait till you have all the money. You will never have all the money. And sometimes things happen in life, things we don't plan for. So sometimes you can be keeping money to say you do real estate with it. Because you didn't use it immediately, at the end of the day, something else comes up and take the entire money, right? And that's how many people have always entered that trap. So always try to start with what you have. Pay in installment, and gradually you build wealth. I remember one secret I've learned about real estate. If you start with what you have and you start installment payment, sometimes when you even say you pay in 12 months, you end up paying 6 months. God has a way. Sometimes it works like it's supernatural, when it's almost like God is happy with you, that you're making the right move. And you just realize that supernaturally, the money will be completed even before the time you are taught, you needed to. It has happened to me several times, where I buy a property, I'm saying I'm going to pay in 12 months. Sometimes in 3 months, I don't even know how the money came about. In 3 months, the entire thing is completed. So I pray God bless you and reward you. Thank you all for watching. Good night, everybody. Don't forget, share. Hit the share button. You will be changing the lives of so many people by doing so. Okay. I love you all, and thank you for listening and watching and learning. And all of you who shared the video, thank you so much. If you came late, please go watch it all over again and again. Moving from millions to billions through land banking. Love you. Good